Boom! Get down.
Nice.
Ooh. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Aiden Drill here, and today I have an update on my bow, sword, and shield build from last month. So we talked about it about a month ago. Yeah, I would say about a month ago. But I just wanted to update you guys, like I said I would, on what I thought would be better for the build, right? So for attributes is the first thing we're going to jump into. So I did some testing, and when it came to dexterity, a lot of people are like, put everything in dexterity, use the spear, the rapier, because they work well with it. Sword and shield does scale with it, but the thing I got on a testing was with the bow, the difference between 300 dexterity and 400 dexterity was approximately 300 damage, maybe 400 damage. So no big change on that. But when it came to having 5 strength to, as you can see, 64 strength, or if you can only get 50 strength, that's a big difference. You're looking at 500 to 700 damage that you're gonna lose off of your sword and shield if you don't spec into strength, right? And then for constitution, we're gonna be doing 110 con, and then food will get us up to 150. And I found that this is the most optimal attributes that you can get with the bow, sword, and shield. If you have anything different that you think about this, if you do play this build, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I'd love to read that. Now we'll go into the weapon mastery. There's really no change in the bow. So even in OPRs now, I am playing with the evade shot. Rain of arrows will get you higher damage in OPRs, but with evade shot, you can kind of play that more assassin style and be able to take on solo fights a lot better. And I kind of have been finding myself doing that a lot more, especially now that there's arenas. But if you're just looking to pump out that damage and top the damage meter, Rain of Arrows should put you in the top 3, I would say, every time. But with Evade Shot, I'm usually sitting around top 10 to top 5. Now, we are doing Poison Shot with Infected Arrows, Evade Shot, Evasive Knockback, and Go the Distance. And then Evasive Tactics, Closing In, Hunter's Insight, Archer Speed, Battle Precision, Dodge and Weave, and Mark. In the Hunter tree, we're going, again, Penetrating Shot, Blood-Soaked Arrow, and Deep Strike. As well, Long Range, Finishing Shot, Surprise Attack, and Bullseye. So again, if you want to change this build up and use Rain of Arrows, everything's going to look the same perk-wise, except these 3 from Evade Shot are going to go over to Rain of Arrows. Now, if you are going to be playing in wars, 100% take the Evade Shot away and put on the Rain of Arrows, because then you're going to be a better asset to your team, right? Now, going into Sword and Shield, I did change it up. After a lot of testing and playing with the last build that I showed and this build, I found this is way better. Alright, so sorry. What we're going to be going with is Reverse Stab, Shield Bash, and Leaping Strike. With Reverse Stab, we're going all the way down the tree, so Unstoppable Stab. Tacticians, Leaping Strike, we're going all the way down that tree as well. Final Strike, and taking Cowardly Punishment as well. And then for Shield Bash, we're going all the way down the tree so that we could get that 1 second stun added on. And Intimidating Bash. Shield Bash causes Intimidating Bash, right? For the perks in the Swordmaster tree, we are basically, the builds are staying exactly the same, except Reverse Stab instead of Defiant Stance. And then Empowered Stab, Achilles Heel, Precision, Counterattack, Opportunist, and then Critical Precision and Leadership, so you get that 10% increase, right? And then Sturdy Shield, Elemental Resistance, and Final Blow in the Defender tree. So I'm not going to go too much more into that, but this is the build that I've been playing with and I find works the best. Alright, so I haven't had too much luck changing my gear up too much since last month. But you're still going to want to go with Tactician's Hat. With the shirt, it's optimally up to you. I like using Tactician's shirt because you get Refreshing Evasion, Physical Aversion, and Invigorated. If you can find something that has Resilient instead of Physical Aversion, so say Refreshing Evasion and Resilient, and third perk on it, that would be better than Physical Aversion. Now this is where I've had no luck, is I have not been able to get my Tactician gloves or legs. Those are the ones that you want right there. So going on to the boots, I just had these made for me. These are just going to be Refreshing Evasion and Refreshing Pen Shot. If you could get Refreshing Evasion Resilient, that'd be better. And then for your third perks, that's always going to be user choice, and of course that's my opinion. And then everything is going to have diamonds in it so that you have that physical and elemental damage absorption, right? And diamonds are going to be better in PvP because usually you have more physical damage than elemental damage. Then for the shield, I got the Conqueror's Defense, and it has Refreshing Evasion, Keenly Jagged, and Enchanted, and I find that pairs very well with the Sword of the Champion. So with the Sword of the Champion, you get Penetrating Backstab, and that is going to be phenomenal for the sword. So I did a lot of testing with my old sword and having like Refreshing Move and Enchanted, but also with Vicious and Keenly Empowered. Right, so this sword is great because you don't really use your sword often. When you do, you are mainly hitting them in the back, right? And then for the bow, again, Lasbow is going to be doing the most damage. So that's going to be probably your main bow that you use. And then Creeping Recurve, that's usually my secondary. So it's in OPRs and wars, I usually will use the Creeping Recurve. It really doesn't matter for OPRs, but I would say for wars, throw that creeping recurve on. Okay, going into our jewelry down here. For your necklace, or your amulet, I should say, you're going to want Refreshing Evasion and Health. For your ring, you're going to want that Refreshing Evasion and Thrust damage so that you do more damage with your bow. And then for your earrings, you want the Garden's Earring, and that has Refreshing Evasion and Nimble. And then again, I haven't been lucky running Genesis and getting the legendary version of this. So if you run Genesis, you have a chance of this dropping at 600 and being a legendary, and that's the one that you're actually gonna be going for, right? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I just had a big dinner. Alright, so talking about this build a little bit, there's not much that changes with your fighting style, right? So you're still going to Leaping Strike at the enemy, Shield Bash, roll away, Pen Shot to the back and head, so of course aim for that head. Once you do so, Evade Shot away, and then you're going to be using poison shot whenever it's up. So anytime it's up, throw that poison shot into a crowd. Now with reverse stab, this is why it's great, right? And this is why with reverse stab, you are going all the way down the tree. So if you see with Tactician, on a successful hit with reverse stab, all other sword cooldowns are reduced by 25%. So that's going to give you that chance of getting that Leaping Strike and Shield Bash back sooner, so you can use that combo way more often. So if you can, you are with the attributes built like this, you're going to be hitting reverse stab around 5k damage. So hit with that reverse stab, and from there it's going to reduce that cooldown, that Leaping Strike, and that Shield Bash. So sometimes I will use Pen Shot, and just depending on the situation, I may use reverse stab and hit him on the back. Of course, you want to aim for that back because, like I said earlier, with the Sword of the Champion, you have penetrating backstab. So anything, I would say with your bow and sword, anytime that you stun them with that Shield Bash, you're going to be aiming at their back or head, right? So with that, it'd just be Leaping Strike, Shield Bash, roll away towards their backside, reverse stab them in the back. From there, Leaping Strike away, try to get that pen shot in, and then again, poison shots on crowds to help out the rest of the team. Alright, so again, this is just that quick update from a month ago. I told you guys that I would be doing some tests to see if Defiant Stance or if reverse stab would be better. And after a lot of doing 3v3 arenas and Outpost Rush, I have found that reverse stab is way better than Defiant Stance, because I just don't find myself using Defiant Stance that often. When you get out of your sword and shield and go back to your bow, it doesn't stay active. So I would say user's choice. If you like Defiant Stance more with this build, of course, keep that, play the style that best suits you. But for me, of course, that reverse stab and that 25% cooldown is way better. Going back on the gear real fast, if you get the shield, try to find it with Keenly Jagged and Refreshing Evasion, because if you get that Keenly Jagged on there, now you're going to be doing bleed damage and poison damage with your weapons. So whenever you Leaping Strike and Shield Bash, they're going to have that bleed damage on them. But other than that, go ahead, like, subscribe, follow, whatever you guys want to do. You guys can go ahead and find me as well on twitch.tv /AidenDrill. I try to stream every single day around 8 or 9 o'clock and try to stay on until about midnight. But other than that, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think of this build. And if you have any type of improvements or stuff you want me to test out with it, leave that down below as well. And I'll definitely take a look at it and try those things out. But other than that, for right now, AidenDrill out, and I'll see you next time.